Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taryn and this is Everything Gets Better. So today's video is going to be all the steps that I took to complete my on-the-go art bag. So this is an art bag that I made specifically to go outside and do art, so I can never have an excuse to not be doing art, and also to make it easier to move around my house when I'm doing art, because I don't like to take my whole paint set and 3 sketchbooks just to get something done. I want something that I can work with on the fly, take wherever, and really just make like a comprehensive art journal. So that was the process, the thought process in making this. And the steps that I took to complete the package, are somewhat documented in this, and then the final procedure is kind of the final layout is kind of at the end of the video. I didn't do all the in-between steps for that one just because it was a lot of just me purchasing things to put into it. And honestly, as somebody who does art, has done art for 5 years, even though I'm not great at it, I've done art for 5 years. I always tell people who are getting into art, don't buy stuff. Like, don't, because you'll never stop buying stuff. So I didn't want to document myself by like going on, is it like a shopping addiction to art supplies? Like, don't put me in a craft store, an art supply store. I'll buy everything like that. Like me relapsing into that condition. So I didn't want to film that part, but the aftermath of it is shown at the end of the video. So I hope you enjoy and stay tuned for the process. Okay, another day of customizing. Do I ever get tired of this? We'll see. I look awful today because I was sick this morning, which is kind of par for the course. I think this point in the year, I always get like very sick just because of the constant fluctuations in weather. So it was literally raining and cold 4 hours ago. It's 80 degrees outside. So I feel like death, but that can't keep me down. I am customizing this thing that I got from the well, it was a Korean store that was going out of business, right? So they were selling a bunch of things for like really great prices. So I picked up a couple things. I got these mini coloring pencils in like a pack, and it comes with a sharpener at the top. And I was like, this is so cute, but I have no use for it. But then I saw this coin purse and I realized it was the perfect size for my mini sketchbook. So I'm making an on-the-go art pack. I already got some things in there. I have a mechanical pencil, a regular black pen that has a really good, like really phenomenal ink for like lining things out. And then I have a 4-color pen if I want to add like color layers, but I don't want to use the colored pencils. And then I have my traditional pencil. It's really, really short because this is an old one. And I'll be able to sharpen it once this is all set up. But this coin purse is so tiny that it can really only handle these 4 writing utensils and my sketchbook. So I'm going to be adding on a little side pouch to it to hold the colored pencils with this elastic. And then I'm just going to be making it cute because this was the best design that I could find, and it's just a black coin purse. They had other ones, but they really looked like they were for grandma, so I left them. And I just decided that I was going to make some patches. So, how do I even get into this? I don't know what I should do first because I have to do like the little elastic pouch. And then I have these. So this is embroidery thread. I am decent at embroidery, but embroidery takes so long and I really just don't have the mental bandwidth for it. But this is actually a punch needle set. So I have embroidery needles in here, but I also have punch needles. So I'm going to see if I can try my hand at punch needling again, because that's the main reason I bought this like 2 years ago. And then I was like not great at punch needling patches specifically. So I am hoping that it'll go better this time. I've done designs with a punch needle before, like little hearts and stuff like that, but I did it directly on the clothes instead of making it into a patch, because then I would just need to glue the back on the inside of the clothing and then it would be fine. But for whatever reason, when I do patches, they never end up flat. Like they're always very puffy at the back, so I can't make them into a patch. So today I'm going to try and work on that. I don't know. I'm going to try and do something simple like a smiley face to start with. So I'll make like a pink smiley face to start with. And if that ends up good, I'm going to see what else I can do because I do have a lot of room on here. So maybe I should do the elastic first so I don't have to like confuse myself with where the patches are gonna go. Because I was thinking the elastic thing would go like right next to this patch and then these would just sit here on there. if that makes sense. But it has to be low. I'll figure it out. I also got a new sewing kit because, like, I don't know, TikTok shop really knows how to target me. So they kept like showing me like these $4 sewing kits with like hand sewing needles. And I was like, I didn't need it until I got that pouch. But then once I need it, I'm like, okay, now I can justify this purchase. So it wasn't actually $4 because you have to pay shipping. So it ended up being like 13, but I got it. It's here. It comes with a case, so I won't lose anything, although that's never stopped me before. But we'll see. It's open now, so it's my responsibility. See, don't give me a sewing kit. I love just looking at them. Like, this is awesome. It comes with thread, and this thread is actually thick enough to be embroidery thread, and there are a lot of different colors in there too. So I might use that as like a tracer. I can do a chain stitch with a punch needle, I think. I'm not great at it, but I can. So I can attempt that. So I'm going to be using that. I'm going to do the elastic first because that's the easiest part. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to come back and we're going to get started on the patches. Yikes. Also, side note, I did not know how useful a thimble was when I was younger, so I never used them. But now this portion of my thumb is so like calloused from all the years of me pushing against it because I never had a thimble like a ring that could go around that area, and this kit just gave me one. So I will be putting this to use because I have been trying to rehabilitate that callus on my thumb for years and it's not going away. I spent like my summers sewing when I was a kid, like doll clothes and stuff, and I ruined my hands from it, but I never really cared until I shook hands with a guy and he was like, and I was like, oh, your hands are so soft. And he's like, no, your hands are just hard. What can I say? I'm a woman of the craft. I'm not going to give up the grind just because I want soft hands. I just don't want them to get any rougher. Okay, so I'm back. I created this little contraption. It's not completely done, but because I wasn't sure how to make the elastics like hold onto it really well, I made like a small loop thing and I sewed it into this big one. And then what I'm thinking is I'm going to connect it on both sides so like it's like double clamped down, and then I'll just move this to the side whenever I need to put the thing in, but I don't want to put too much stress on the things, on like the sutures that are holding it to it. So hopefully I'll be able to just slide it in through the small inner hole first, because that's like, pause for everything I'm about to say. Oh my gosh, this because this is the tighter portion, so it'll hold it better, and then this one will anchor it. This loop will anchor it to the thing. I'm too immature. And then it'll just be held like this on the pouch, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't think I need to sew both sides. I think I'm going to leave it the way it is so that when I'm pulling on it to get it into the inner loop, it doesn't put too much pressure on the back stitches. The only thing I really need to I only need to connect it at 1 point too. I'm probably gonna connect it at 2 points just to give it like extra security, but it only really needs one because once the thing is in it, it takes the shape that it needs to. So yeah, I'm gonna do the 2 points of connection because knowing me and knowing how I'm gonna treat this art case, like I said on the go, I meant on the go. I'm gonna throw that in the bottom of a bag. It needs to be strong. You guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is some of the most horrifying stitch work I've ever done. Like, I don't even know. This is not strong. I don't know what I was doing. I was just playing with the thread. But it's attached. It's not really going anywhere, so I'm gonna try and just see how easy it is to pop through with the configuration. Otherwise, I'm glad I got 2 seam rippers because I'm probably gonna need them. She ain't easy, but she works. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, that's secure. As long as it doesn't like go straight to the side, like even if it does go straight to the side, it won't pop out because this middle one is really secure. So I'm glad about that. I kind of did it okay. I'm gonna pack everything up now because that's all the modifications I'm going to be doing on the body. So I'm just going to repack this with all the stuff, finally. And we're just going to see how well it works the way it's set up. That's sketchbook, everything. And then closing it first is actually easier so that this thing is already like behind the colored pencils. And then I'm going to do this. Boom. I am on the go ready now. And this is like a wallet, so I can wear it just like this. I'm probably just going to be putting it into a lot of bags, but it's nice to know that I have this to go on the go with. Normally I do watercolor, so it's been pretty hard trying to find a way to transfer that medium to like a portable like mode, so I don't really do anything. I know some people get like the mini watercolor palettes, but those are so useless to me. So I actually have watercolor colored pencils, and I was thinking I would get them in the short versions too and replace the ones that are in here with the shorter watercolor pencils so I can go with them, because I'm watercolor first and then I'll do like a crayon or a colored pencil or like a pastel. I prefer gel crayons. If anybody's interested in those are amazing if you're good with watercolor. Like, they transfer so seamlessly. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to do, like get those in the watercolor version. So I'll still use these. I did do a little like test trial with these regular colored pencils. They're okay. They're decently pigmented. For I got these for $1.50. I didn't even say the price. Okay, so the coin pouch was $2 and the colored pencils were $1.50. And I got a couple other things from the store when it was closing. So I think I got like 5 or 6 things. I think it was really like 5. 5 things for $20, which in this day and age, I'm not going to complain about. So that was a nice little cheap excursion to go to. I'm just going to pack up my sewing supplies now, and then we're going to get into punch needling, which I am going to film a little bit of. Go easy on me, y'all. I'm not good with it. I'm not even going to hold you guys. I'm going to cut out the punch needle section because it is just me flailing with thread for a good 40 minutes that I will never get back, but I learned a valuable lesson about making mistakes and not learning from them. So I need to practice punch needling when I get the time. I will never know. But yeah, if you want to see me do that, it'll be in my shorts or on my TikTok. Watch me fail at that as many times as you prefer outside of this video. Don't ever let me near a punch needle again. Oh my gosh. You know what? On camera, it looks better than it does in person, which is saying something. It's so raggedy. I don't know. But this part is done. Honestly, maybe I'll just buy some pins instead to pin on here. I don't know why I'm doing too much. I'm gonna buy some pins to put on this thing, but that's the video. I'm just gonna document this because I'm like, well, I already started. I think my worst trait is not being able to be bored, because I literally told myself like, hey, you did so much this weekend, like posted across all platforms. You're really hitting those milestones. Give yourself 3 days, right? 3-day weekend. It's Saturday. And then I was like, but I want to dismantle the colored pencils that I just got to put them in my art pack because they came. And these little ones, these $1.50 ones, I'm going to save them for another time in a plastic bag, like whenever I'm not in the mood to do watercolor. But watercolor is really the best way for me to get a color drawing out. So these are going to have to take a break in there for now. And I already started breaking down my new watercolor pencils. So I got these Crayola ones because they were cheap. They were like $8. And people say they work okay. So I just decided these are going to be the ones that I take apart rather than my really nice ones. Because why would I break my really nice ones? So I already snapped the white one in half with like some kitchen scissors, and then I just need to like sharpen it properly. The thing does have a little sharpener attachment on it, but when it's broken down like this blunt, it has to be sharpened properly. But I have this, so once I sharpen them I'm going to be able to put them in the tube. And I measured it. I can fit about 14 colors. So it's a 24 pack. I had to pick out the colors that probably wouldn't benefit me as much. You know, it's a lot of primary colors that I chose. And once all of those are sharpened and everything, I'm going to be able to put them in the tube. And I'm really thinking about decorating the tube too, because this little thing that I came with is cute, but not really my vibe. So I'm probably going to make a little sticker banner for that. But that's what I'm here to update on. I'm going to come back when all of them are shaved down properly and just show what they look like in the case, and hopefully I'll be able to do a drawing with them. I've never drawn on this channel, so that really is the goal of making this mini art pack, to go out there, make a drawing, and then say, this is what I did. But yeah, I did make a drawing testing out the watercolor pencils already, but it's not that great because it was just a test. So I'm going to try and do something nice in whenever I find the time. I'm going to give myself 2 days. I really do need that day off. Okay, so it took me 20 minutes to cut. I think I have 14 little babies. Let me see, 14. I fit 14 half watercolor pencils into my little thing. So they were actually surprisingly easy to cut. It said that they're made with like recycled wood, so they're probably a bit softer than normal color pencils. I got right through them with a pair of kitchen scissors and stacked them into here. I wanted to fill up as much space as possible. So I think the ones that came with it, there were only like 11, so there was a bit more wiggle room. So I just made sure to fill that in with like 3 more pencils. And now that they're sharpened properly, I should be able to use this top sharpener whenever I need to like refresh them. They're ready to go. Oh my gosh. Okay, and I have one more addition to the art pack, and it was actually this, I call it a water brush because that's what I was going for. This is actually a refillable nail oil pen. I love using these when I do watercolor instead of water brushes, because these ones, I don't know why, they dispense a lot more water than water brushes, so I prefer to use the nail oil brush. And I just fill it with water. This one is refillable, so once I'm done with the amount that's in here, I just twist the bottom and it pulls out so I can refill it. And I just push down this base part as well. So I have 3 of these, so I can leave one at home, I can leave one in my art pack, and I can just have an extra one in case I lose them or they break. And this is also going to sit in here, so these don't leak very easily. That's another reason I like them. Water brushes, for some reason, they always leak. So I would need to wait until I got to a place to fill it up, which is, no, like I'm on the go. This is an on the go pack. So I got to be able to paint. So this fits in pretty nicely in here. It's a bit bigger than what I wanted, but beggars can't be choosers. Okay, and then just getting myself used to packing this up properly. One and done, and then snap these down. They're magnetic buttons, which is so helpful. Okay, we're ready to go again. So I don't think I'm going to get that eraser anytime soon, which is fine for now. Just going to see, I'm going to look up a place to go next week and go and draw, I guess. I do have to do the final update in production of the video to show you the final form of the art bag. Jeez. So if you're on my TikTok, you would have already seen it, but I have it dismantled right now because I was just drawing in it a little while ago. So I'm just going to show everything that I use in it, all the little bits and bobs, how it's changed over the past 3 weeks since its inception. 3-4 weeks. Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks. It's been a good long while since I did that first part. So I'm going to show you right now. The pencils are obviously, you know, we went through that. So I'm going to leave that off, and I'm just going to show you the bag and what its contents are holding. So inside, there is no longer a sketchbook. There are more bits and bobs. So I'm just going to show what I have in there. I have a spray bottle filled with water so I can spray my pages, and that has been instrumental in getting those watercolor pencils to work, let me tell you. Let me see. Gotta dig kind of deep in here. It actually has a lot more space if I took out the sketchbook, so I'm going to show you how I attach it at the end. But inside that inner pocket, I do also have the eraser that I was talking about. Finally got that. I have extra pencil lead, and I have a sponge. So this is a regular kitchen sponge that I cut up, and whenever it gets kind of stained, I take it out, I rinse it, and I replace it with one of the other pieces, and I basically just use it to wipe off my brush while I'm working. I don't have to replace it, but seeing the colors on it all the time makes me kind of mad. So this is the second one that I've used. The first one I was using before is currently drying because I rinsed it off, and I just stuck this one in there. And inside the pencil compartment, I have a couple new things. So I have this white gel acrylic. Is it acrylic or is it gel? Hang on. Bless my soul. Okay. White gel pen, not acrylic. It came in a pack with a mix of gel and acrylic. Okay. I know what I'm talking about. It has been a long day, long month, all of that. But other than that, everything else is the same. So I have my really cool ballpoint pen with a nice ink. I have my mechanical pencil. I have my old traditional, and then I have the multicolor pen. All of this fits in here. Okay, it's a tight fit, I won't lie. And, you know, I'm almost out of water on this, so I'm gonna leave this out actually because I need to refill this. I've been doing a lot of art. Okay? That for me. Yeah. So I just like pop all of those elements into here and I close it. And there actually is like a method to how I have to close this up or I'm gonna screw myself over. So I have to put everything in the top compartments first, close that up, and then I put on the coloring pencils. So, and you would be happy, I'm happy to report, you would be happy to know, the stitches are actually quite strong. So I haven't had any tears or breaks or anything like that. I haven't had to do any repairs. It's been okay. And I've gone out 2 or 3 times with this and successfully done 1 outdoor art session. I'm getting through it. So this back pocket is actually what's been so instrumental. So I got a new sketchbook. I was talking about my shopping addiction earlier. I got a couple new sketchbooks, but I don't even want to think about it. I can't even get into it, but I got a couple new sketchbooks. And this, I take off the band and I use this band that's meant to like hold down the pages and I use it to secure it to this back pocket. So I'll slide it in here and there's like a little thing that I hook this onto inside the pocket and then it just hangs off the back. So let me do that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And then it hangs off the back. Really cute like that. And to keep it from falling open like that, I just use a scrunchie. Can't spend money on everything. I was gonna use another black elastic to make it look better, like more cohesive, but then I was like, scrunchies are cute. And this one has glitter. So I decided to use that one instead. And the final package is not as elegant as before, but a million times more functional. So yeah, I went out with it just like this to the park. I set up everything on my lap and I did a little watercolor piece. I'm gonna show it to you. Come on, work with me. Getting the sketchbook in and out is always the hardest part, but if that's the only part that bothers me, I am okay with it. This is the first piece that I did in here. This first page is kind of loose because I use it to press all the time, so it's like falling off. But I never use the first page of my sketchbook, so I don't want it to fall off because I want it to protect this. And this is my art piece. It's about a witchy girl in a witchy world. And, you know, she got her witch things all about her. I think that's cute. I am, yeah, just testing the colored pencils out for real, like on a piece that I was actually happy with. And I got to use everything in the pack, on this. So I used the sponge to clean it up. I spread the paper and I did the background, like underpainting and stuff like that. It was a lot, but it was really fun to do. And I did a couple other pieces, but those are kind of pending. You know, I'm shy about my art still. So I'm kind of waiting on those pieces, but once they're done, I'm going to be so happy to show all of them. This video is really a video about me doing the most. I do the most of everything. That's my fatal flaw, okay? Not the boredom thing. It's doing the most for no reason. But please do stay tuned for that, because I do plan on showing the art, okay? And it's gonna happen pretty soon. It's just little tweaks here and there that have to be made, you know? I don't like to come to people's houses like unprepared, I guess. So that was everything that's kind of up to date with the sketchbook. I feel like I put a bit too much emphasis on what I wanted to do with it, because it's still not decorated to this day, but it is very functional. So if you want to see the things that I've been drawing on my sketchbook, you can check that out on my Substack or my TikTok. And I'll also begin posting them in my community tab pretty soon. I'm still getting used to like remembering that the communities tab is there and I can put pictures in there so people can see my art that way instead of having to go to TikTok. But that's going to be a bit more of a slow going process, but it will be up there eventually. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I have no idea what this is. No, I'm not gonna play with this. That looks sharp and dangerous, and I don't know what it's for. Okay. You're gonna hear sirens. I'm so tired. So I do need to get one more thing for this pack, and that is a big flat eraser, like a square eraser for my pencil, like when I start doing like pencil art. Lord, I am tired. This is why I don't need to be doing stuff. See, I need to stop doing things. But so I got these, and then the newest edition